Hello students, welcome to the class. This is me. My name is Dr. Darshan Ingle. I'm a senior data scientist and an instructor. A little bit glimpse of my profile is what you see on the screen right now. My main area of expertise as of today, if you ask me, is machine learning, data analytics, business analytics, Tableau, Power BI, statistics, etc. But to be very honest, the fundamental thing that you require to be an expert in all of this is the basic languages. One of the most basic language which I would like to talk about is C and C++, which students usually study in the first semester of their engineering or first semester of your any graduation course if you're going to be a computer science graduate. Going a little bit ahead, a decade ahead after C was when Java came into picture. And that is exactly going to be the demo session all about. So why is Java very important? Well, all of these things we have already learned in our earlier classes. Today, the main focus of this class is on object-oriented programming. So let's get started with this. And I'm sure you all are quite smart enough, right? Learners of 2023, right? You might have certainly skimmed through my profile by this time, and I need not give you a little bit more introduction on that. So let us directly jump on to the topic. Yes. So the topic that we have, oops. Yes, oops. So Java is an object-oriented programming language. Object-oriented programming language. Everything in Java is associated with what you call as classes and what you call as objects. Now, since this is a short demo session of 13 minutes, I'm sorry, since it's a short demo session of 30 minutes, my aim is to give you a good understanding of how nicely I can deliver. Of course, the things can be explained in much more detail given convenience of additional time. So here I will try myself to portray as a good trainer so that you all are convinced with the teaching skills, and therefore the concepts which I'm explaining may not be too much in depth as I would be actually explaining in a proper live class. But still, I can assure you that you will understand it for sure. So everything in Java is associated with classes and objects, along with its attributes, that is the variables, and methods. They are nothing but functions. You take any example, right? In a real life example, if I am considering car, so car is what you call as an objects. And if you ask me what all are going to be the attributes of the car, well, the color of the car is an attribute, weight of the car is an attribute. And if you ask me what all are going to be the methods of the car, you drive the car, right? That's a method. Do you brake the car? That's a method, right? So these all are the methods. So class is like an object constructor, or I can say a blueprint. Now, these all things look quite difficult to understand, right? I prefer to explain it in very simple example. But before that, let me give you a proper technical definition of what is class and what is object. So technically, they say that object is an instance of a class. And what is class? Class is template of an object. This looks too difficult to digest, right? Let me make it very, very simple for you. See, class is template of an object. What is template? Template is something which is used to give shape. As in, look over here. This, you gunjia khaya hai? Gunjia in Diwali. I'm sure everyone had it, right? So delicious sweet, right? Awesome. My favorite. But today we're more focused on how do we make it? Well, you have this, right? This is the instrument which is used to make gunjia. And what do you do? Your dough or atta and the saran or whatever the material we say, we push it inside, right? Something like this. And then you fry it in the oil and it's ready. By the way, what is the beauty of this? With the help of this yellow instrument or yellow thing, I can create as many gunjias as possible. So this yellow instrument that you see, it is template to create objects. In the sense, my dear friends, I will like to say here, this is what I call as a class. And I can create any number of gunjias. This is called as object, right? So what do we say? Class is the template of an object. So using this template, I can create as many objects as possible, right? Let's try to understand this scenario. So I get you through this. So say the simple example is going to make the things so easily understandable to all of you. You understand what is a class and what is an object. Just remember my Gunjia and don't forget to remember me as well. Okay. So you understand what is a class, you understand what is an object. Now, can we go a little bit more technical into this? Okay, let me give you a very simple example. One more way to understand class and an object. So let's say you are student, let's say Darshan. I'm a student and I want to apply to this college. I want to apply to this college. So I'm a 12th standard student. I want to apply to this college and engineering college, right? IIT. Oh, quite high dreams, huh, Darshan? Okay, so Darshan wants to apply to this college. So Darshan goes to this college and I request the office that please give me the admission form. College does have an admission form. Huh? So this is how the admission form of colleges. I'll keep it very simple, right? I'll not unnecessarily complicate it. So the admission form of the college asks me the following thing: name, then it asks me my marks in physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Okay, simple. This is what. But there is one problem. The problem is this college has only one master copy of this. So if Darshan comes and Darshan says that, can you give me this? I want it. So the thing is, the same form cannot be given to Darshan. Why? Because if this is given to him, there are at least 50,000 more students like Darshan who are going to come to me and ask for the form. So what does the college say? College says that we are going to give you a photocopy of this, Xerox. So the photocopy will also have the same data: name, physics, chemistry, maths. What is this? Photocopy. So let's say after that, next student, Ravinder comes. So what is the college going to do? Same process. So we are going to create not B, college, right? एक और copy बना दिया, PCM. In this way, n number of students can come. Let's say the last student to come is Ajay. Now, name PCM. By default, all of these values are initialized as null and zeros in Java. If you want to, initialize it, okay, if I am going to fill my form, Ravinder is going to fill his form, so on and so forth, Ajay will be filling his form. How? For that, first of all, I would like to tell you that what you see over here, master copy of the form, this is what you call as class. And what is this? This is object 1, object 2, object 10. Okay, so many things are there. You understand it. Fair enough. So there is a single class and no memory is allotted to it. But there are multiple objects of the class and I have to allocate memory to it. Why? Because if Darshan is going to fill this form, college is not going to fill anything, right? But Darshan will say, okay, his name is, let's say, Darshan English. He fills it. Physics marks, he got 92 on 100. Chemistry, he got 73 on 100. Mathematics, he got 99 on 100. Okay. You know how is Darshan going to fill up this data? If the name of the object is Darshan, then for him to fill his name, he will have to use the syntax, the object name dot variable name. So here darshan dot name, or if I say darshan dot p is equal to 92 sets this value. In the same way, I can keep on doing it. So let's talk about Ravinder dot m is equal to 57. So this sets it. If I say Ajay dot p is equal to 79, Ajay dot c is equal to 99. That sets this as 79, this as 99. And in this way, I can fill up all of these values. With Ravinder dot this. So here I will have name as Ravinder. Let's say he got 92, 93. He sets the name as Ajay and 79. So in this way, all of these values can be filled. Do you see over here one very important thing? Class is template of an object. So there is no memory allotted because you're not going to fill anything over here as a college. But here, all the students are going to fill up their data and maybe submit it to college. So here, memory has to be allocated. Okay. Now, obviously, the things now go into how do you actually create a class. I'll try to keep it very simple and precise. Syntax wise, if I have to create a class, it is class followed by the class name. Then you need to mention the type. Here you remember last time we understood instance variable. 1 semicolon type instance variable 2. Put it properly, it's not variable. And in this way, I can have any number of instance variable and I can also declare methods inside that type, which is the return type. Then you have method name. We have the knowledge of methods in Java. So here is going to be the parameter list followed by body of the method. In the same way, I can have any number of methods, and this is where the class ends. Okay, let me give you a very easy example of how the things work over here. So what am I going to do is, just like we created IIT as one of the class, let us create box as a class. Very simple example to portray the things. So I'm taking you to the online IDE over here. Obviously, in our actual classes, we will be using the one which is installed in the system. But for now, for our demo session, I'm using this. This is one of the awesome idea. There is absolutely no need to install anything in the system if you have this. But if the requirement of the course is to install, we will install it. Okay. Selecting the language, Java. Right? This is a very basic code which is already available for us. If I run it, as expected, hello world should be the output, which you should be able to see it now. No, it never takes so long. Never ever it takes so long. I'll refresh it. Okay, this is Java only. Unnecessary things, check it off, run. I told you it never takes so long. Okay, now I'll cut it. So I have to create a very basic class. So I'm creating a class which is called as box. Box, huh? So class, the name of the class is box. You remember class followed by class name. So I can give any name to the class. And inside this, what am I going to put? I'm going to put the dimensions of the box. So if you actually have a box, it will have a height, width, and depth, right? I'm assuming the data types of that to be double. Double width, separately writing it. I can write it on a single line, but let's keep it very clean. Double height. You can write it on a single line, of course. I'm just trying to keep it clean. Okay. Very simple. Okay, I just created three variables, not even adding a function, not even adding a function. Class is over. Okay. Then let me prove it to you. So now I directly paste whatever I did cut earlier. Public class main class, right? So this class is outside this up. Public static void main string args, basic structure of the Java program, right? So I'll just take it down. Don't worry, we will understand the things in detail step by step. Okay, now please understand over here, just like that IIT class, I have created a class which is called as box. It has width, it has height, it has depth. You will not be able to consume it unless and until you create an object. I can create the object of the class in the same class, but this is always a cleaner way of going ahead with this, right? See, the way I am showing it to you over here is one of the most clean way of coding, right? This is always convenient. So here, I would say this is class box. Outside that is my main class, inside which I have the main function. Here I start coding. This name can be anything. This name also can be anything if you're working in an offline editor, but this online editor has a constant that you have to keep the name as main only with M capital. So I'm not changing it. Okay. Inside that, what I want to do, see, I want to create an object of this. Let's call it as my box one. So an object has to look similar, right? Object has to look similar. So it should have width, height, depth. Okay. But how do I create it, right? So creation of this object is what is very important over here. So now over here, the way to create the object of the class is, I say class name object name is equal to new class name open close. What is this? If I want to create an object of the class box, I say that class name is box. Object name we decided as my box one. So let's call it as my box one. What is this new? New is like I'm saying that I want you to allocate a new block of memory because I want to store data inside it. That's very important, right? We got to store data inside it. So that's what I am telling over here by writing new box constructor. You remember we studied constructor. So we are creating a constructor of box. Let me do it over there. So I say box, my box is equal to new box, semicolon. Now, if I have to set, let us say, I have to set this value as 3, 4, and 5. How will I set it? You remember I told you over here when we did that IIT example, object name dot variable name, same analogy. Let's go ahead. So my object name is, oh, my box one, no, not my box. So I say my box one dot width equal to 3 dot width equal to 3. Even if I'm setting it as 3, because the data type is double, it will be saved as 3.0. Don't forget. My box one dot height is equal to 4. My box one dot depth equal to 5. Now let me calculate the volume of the box. How can I calculate? I'll create a new variable, double wall. So how am I going to calculate the volume of my box one? My box one, I have to multiply 3, 4, and 5. If I have to multiply 3, 4, and 5, how am I going to access 3? My box dot width. How am I going to access 4? My box one dot height. My box. So multiply this 3. So I will copy this. Volume is going to be this multiplied by this my box. It's very important to write my box multiplied by this semicolon. And then I say system dot out dot print ln. Wow. Why didn't you come earlier? Okay. I say volume of my box one is, and what is that? Wall, na? Let us execute it. God, please make our program execute. 3 into 4 into 5. What is the answer? Calculate it meanwhile. 3 into 4 is 12. 12 into 5 is 60. Aya 60? Yes, we got it as 60. Oh, you understand? I can create any number of objects like this. So let's say I'm copy pasting the code, right? So I'm creating, let's say, one more object and I call it as my box 2. And this will also have width. Let's say I'm going to set it as 7, height as 1, depth as 3. So 7 3s are 21. It's easy to calculate. Therefore, I'm putting these values. And do not forget, that's how it comes. And so my box 2, this is what we planned as 7. This is planned as 1. And this is planned as 3. So my box 2 dimension set. Now I need not set the variables data type again. So I'm just copying this highlighted part because double is already set. And here, my box 2, my box 2, my box 2. Saving it inside wall only. So volume of my box 2 is this. Let's see. You're getting the answer as 0, 0, 0. So I have set it as 7, 1, and oh, you see, my bad. This has to be, that is a drawback of copy pasting the code, right? So there is always a learning over here. So, and volume function is set, okay. There you have the things perfectly, right? Now, of course, we can also add functions and all, but I think the time for demo session is scheduled as 30 minutes, so it will exceed the expectations of the class. But obviously, that's what we have at the moment. So I can do one thing, Control A, Control C. I'll just see if I can paste in the code for you guys so that you can refer it. Paste it over here. It's convenient for you whenever you study. Okay, let it be there. Also, this diagram is going to help you a lot whenever you study. I'll also share with you the source code in the right format, but obviously not right now at the moment. So these all pictorial representation will help you a lot whenever you study. And yep, having said that, friends, in this short and sweet time, that is the end of it. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Bye-bye. See you all. Just to summarize very quickly, what have we understood? What is a class? What is an object? So class is a template of an object. Object is nothing but an instance of a class. Class is created by class followed by class name. And inside that, you can keep on adding variables. Then in the main function, you create as many objects, set the value of the objects with class name dot object name. And then you are free to do any computations with it. So that's it for the day. Hope to see you all very soon. Bye-bye. Signing off. Thank you.